choose actually to become a scientist because we know most of the time uh, agency or institution coming from Europe or other parts going to research in Africa, trying to search about contributing in research in Africa. And though the tendency is changing, there are still few research that are done on field by African. So my way was that I feel to contribute to that, to filling this research gap, specifically on my area of study. This also have been possible because I have a chance to come from a family where people value education. Though my parents were not up to PhD or all those, they at least value education and they were able to invest in my education, and that somehow make it possible till the first degree or just before the first degree of the university. But I was also lucky, and from my work was somehow valued, so that I was able to get a scholarship to attend the university, a government scholarship to attend the university. And after that, I also has the chance to got a DAD scholarship to be able to do my master in Niger. I was, if I remember well, I was in Nigeria where I had the interest of pursuing my master, but this time doing it in English because from most of the parts of my learning it was basically in French, but I was having interest in doing my master level in English. Then I was at the University of Ilorin, where a colleague of mine, his name is Thierry Odun, he forwarded this call of application to me. And by that time, he was graduating from a WASCAL program. So from him, I got the information of the call of application were launched, and I prepared my application that I sent. I was interviewed, and I got to be one of the 3 West African coming from other country as part of Niger, coming to Niger actually to school and doing this master program. One of the major skills and aptitude I got from this master program was the writing, for instance, a concrete project, development project, and also having ability to assess installation, because we were trained on climate and energy issue as well as water supply for rural development. So that actually leads, taking account all those variety of field and sector, that lead me today to be more focused or to try to integrate those knowledge I have from the program, and also taking account some challenges in resources, use of resources, and the basic needs such as energy, water, and food, that actually drive me or drive my choice to be oriented with this engineer and researcher. I could say from the master thesis, it was more or less interdisciplinary, like the program is designed, but also practical skills that we were able to acquire through the program. And then I will take the opportunity to thank Prof. Habani and all his team who has been working greatly to be able to give this output and allow students, giving space to students to discover their self and be able to also impact other people around them or other population around them. It was a nice experience for me because I'm not from Niger, but that does not give me any limits. The platform is there. We have the chance, this platform of Wascal, which is there to allow us to exchange and be able to deliver and express ourselves. So one of the key challenges in West Africa is what we can realize, the greater negative effect of climate change that lead to, for instance, rainfall scarcity in a country where it's very hot, specifically Niger, which is common to sub-Saharan West Sahelian country such as Niger and Burkina as well. There are challenges on climate issue, but also population growth. Population growth who put more pressure on demand, resources demand, and in a context where there is a natural resources that can be used to address in sustainable way those challenges. I mean natural resources, talking about the sunshine or solar irradiance that is very high in Niger and can be used through photovoltaic system for energy supply to household, and also photovoltaic uses in other fields such as agriculture. I can say that science could actually help in research while doing development-oriented research. From experience or project that have been already, research can be done. For instance, identifying key crop is one example. Key crop that is suitable for the region that could be farmed by those the agriculture or those farmers in the region. And science can as well assess, like what I did, assess those equipment installed and address policy issue on how it should be implemented and which way is supposed to be implemented. These are also call for action for research, interdisciplinary research actually. And my interest going now, pursuing a PhD on that field will be try to see what is a suitable model, a kind of suitable model that can ensure sustainability of this project installed on field. Because what we could notice from our experience is that many development partners are trying to target a specific project, but they are working in different directions somehow, or they are working from their own agenda. I can understand that institution and agenda are something that is difficult to change, but I feel that if there is a kind of multi-implementers action, for instance, targeting specific issue where there are, for instance, three or many, one of them target a specific problem within the issue they are going to target together. I'll give a simple example to maybe clarify what I'm doing. If we are more addressing food security issue in Niger, for instance, we all as partner or development partner want to install water, energy, food infrastructure. While these infrastructure are installed, there are sometimes not awareness of beneficiary for them to take serious this infrastructure that is installed, where they can make efficient use of resources. So in this example, many partners can say, okay, instead of installing different in the same place or same area, installing different infrastructure, one can focus on training of those beneficiary or people in the village to be able to support one infrastructure that is given by other partner, and welcome the capacity building aspect of research. Then research institution can focus on that train people and helping them to, for instance, for some climate smart agricultural technologies that can be put in practices, agroecology practices, and valuing also the indigenous knowledge. But it has to be mentioned that all this has to be done bottom-up approach with a high involvement of these beneficiaries so that they can really understand the outputs of the project or the result of the project. About the Climate and Sustainable Development Action Club, the main motivation was to give back to the rural population. We had the opportunity and chance to be funded for our master by a DAD. So we were trying to see in which way we could give back to the rural population. But I must mention that the first step in implementing this club was during the workshop with Zef, Pascal, and Powes that was made in 2019 in Niger, where we got in contact with the club, the Climate Change Club in Powes, who presented their idea and how they are doing it in Algeria. So we were having that in mind, but they enhance and drive more the quick action on that, where we get into contact with them and they tell us and direct us of how they are doing it. Then we contextualize, in our own way. So about the CSDAC, we really envision building a climate resilient Africa driven by sustainable development action and strategy, and with a mission of, we have a kind of a framework for operation where we focus on awareness creation and capacity building research as well. But I must mention that the whole story about the club started in 2019 during the workshop with Power students organized by Wascal, ZEF, and the Powers Institution in Algeria, where we got in contact with those Power students who presented their club, and this just come to fix our ambition of creating a club at the Wakesete, which club was created by the student of Wakesete program funded by the DAD, and we started doing our own action and got to involve students from Wascal and many other students from the university and faculty. Let me make it clear. The club we don't have any direct funders of the club, but we write projects when, for instance, call is launched. The Plan International launched a call of application, where about 1,300 applications happen in West Africa and Central Africa. So from that, we got selected for our project we wrote on entrepreneurship and unemployment, trying to address unemployment and strength entrepreneurship skill for Nigerians in the context of COVID-19. So we had that, we were able to get that grant because we wrote the project and submitted the project and were finally selected to implement that. And something very interesting from that is that from all the 23 projects selected in West and Central Africa, they now selected 5 projects, and we are among those 5 projects who well implement the project of Plan International. We didn't make any kind of evaluation, but from our Facebook page, we can know how many people were touched during the campaign. So the campaign were designed in the moment where the COVID-19 the impact was very higher, and people in Niger were very scared. So for us, being indoor, we feel that what we can do is communicate word to word, and also doing online communication on which measure has to be done to prevent the COVID-19. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach, we can't say we were not able to reach through that specific campaign. People were not on social media. But though we had opportunity to go out, we respect barrier and creating awareness of people on the importance of doing the measure to avoid to be affected by COVID-19. We went sometime when we had the opportunity, but not always the time, or making that a mission, because the whole story was, okay, I'm part of the club, we are running this sort of campaign, I have the duty to talk about it around me. Whenever I will be in the area, whether urban area, rural area, or Niamey, we need to talk about it, because it's a kind of, we need to do that campaign to reduce people who are affected, to let people be aware of what is being done. All the digital skill we acquired in our activity, I would say, are self-building or self-made skills that we made. But we are actually a community of multidisciplinary researcher and young professional coming from 12 African country, where we, some of us are focused digital, have digital skills, those communication skills, and so on and so forth. So we more or less learn on our own what we can use as digital skills. For the moment, the app we have a first version from our development and implementing the project. We have a first version of whoever that is available online on Play Store, where people can, for instance, download and use it. But we noticed from our feasibility study and willingness to adopt the app study in Niger that there are still some limitations, such as people who are not more educated, who cannot actually use this app. So then we are trying to cope with this limitation by developing a better version of the app that will take account those limitations. The new app will be, for instance, a more soft application with more pictogram and voices in local language that can allow even people who are not, who does not have a high education level to be able to use this app. Yes. To just say we are in contact or we are in partnership, with two private health center And those two private health centers are really taking and are willing to adopt that. But we also went to the main health center in Niamey, where there is so more depth, where they are more interested in adopting the solution. But one of their conditions were to uh, address the issue to the health minister in Niger, that's supposed to be aware of what is going on ground and what have been done by the club and its partner to develop the app. So we went to the minister, where we had the chance to talk to people from the minister in charge of e-health, who were supportive to the initiative and even proposed to host the space of the software when it will be online. They are willing to support that, providing space online for data stocking for the software. So I must also mention that this app was developed in collaboration with the student from the health faculty of the Abdul Mumuni University and two other companies, startup, that are run by students coming from the Abdul Mumuni University, and specifically from Wakeseti in my person and Wascal program, to come together and then build this app. So it's very unique innovation from Abdul Mumuni University student, but driven by the club and students that were at the Center for Sustainable Rural Transformation in Niger. We got special support, I mean personal support, from our director, Professor Rabani, which is also currently the Vice Chancellor of the university. But all support we get are not support from institution. It's more or less our self involvement, our self finance skill, or financing the project ourselves, or getting some support from the university in contacts, because to be able to implement some project we need contacts, and Professor Rabani has been very helpful in that vein. He helped us to contact high institutions and put us in contact with those institutions that can actually help. So what I can then suggest as a way is that the university could come with a kind of yearly program where it launch a call of application to allow students to bring their personal skill of innovation on board, where yearly they can run those challenge between students, and this can actually help and create more platform, co-working platform and environment for people to express. Because we coming from the Wakaseti Center, we have a platform that allows us to do that. But other students, for instance, from other faculty, does not have the same chance. But I think if there's more of those platform, co-working platform, and also supported by the university through those challenge, that will actually enhance more innovation from the university. It was an amazing experience, an incredible experience with an interdisciplinary team, where we were able to do this research in 4 regions: Wendland, Oberallgäu, Barnim, and Vorarlberg in Austria. So we interview actually not only farmers, but also people at the district level and state level. And my personal experience with farmers were that they were welcoming, trying to express themselves and say actually what they do as sustainable farming and agroecology practical. Even though they don't call it agroecology practical, they are doing some of things that are related to agroecology practical. Their research is actually commissioned by the BMZ that is funding this research, and this is a very new innovative approach of tandem research in Europe, because the SLE, for instance, usually and SLE, like many other institutions, send their students to do research in Africa with student in Africa or researcher in Africa, and do call it tandem research. But this new way of bringing experts from Africa and to solve or research about developing issue in Europe is very innovative and unique. Yeah, some of similarity we can talk about is the pressure on water. What pressure on water use are like in Niger there is water scarcity of water as well, but also in Veenland, for instance, they farmers mention about pressure on water, where they have to be more efficient in doing irrigation. So this is a kind of common issue and global issue on water usage. And I could say that even some farmers, from our experience, some farmers we interview were conventional farmers, but very few, they really care about the resources usage, water usage, because it's depend also on their crop or farming survival anyway. So that is it. Yeah, I think the differences here is that farmers are really supported by funding. In everything, farmers are supported with farming, like according to the space they have, which type of landscape protection or landscape preservation they are doing. They got this funding for food to be cheaper. But on my knowledge, in Africa, developing country, there are no strict target amount that farmers get for doing agriculture. And the agriculture at our side somehow is still subsistence agriculture. Where here in Germany, people really farm more for not only food, but also feeding livestock, and most important, also energy production. Well, this from some thinking can be saying or can be seen as giving more importance of energy to energy production than food, but both are basic needs that are needed for a community development or a country development. So it has to be a balance between the two. I think in 10 years coming, I see myself as an integrated farmer, but not only farmer, but also doing research. I intend to implement a kind of a hub, a big hub, where farming will be taking account efficient and high intensive natural farming, sustainable farming will be done, but also having an unit production that will be a complete cycle, and also having a training center within the whole system, where young people can be trained on how to do those skills, either in energy, water supply system, and most important, agriculture system. And I will be more or less researcher and entrepreneur. It will be more or less researcher and entrepreneur, but basically focus on farming system, energy supply system, and water supply system. Well, I haven't seen myself in politics. I'm more or less oriented development issue and providing consultancy or doing consultancy with high institutions that are willing to implement such projects. But I personally do not see myself in policy. Not for the moment. I haven't think about it. Thank you so much for inviting us and taking your time to be here. I was very honored and it was a pleasure for me to giving this interview. I will therefore end by thanking the DAD who has offered me the opportunity to be trained, during my masters, and this actually give me an open view about agriculture, about energy use, about water supply system in sub-Saharan Africa. This is really useful, and I think sometimes that without this support, I could have been here benefiting from this engagement or even seeing the club CSDAC be alive sometime. Thank you. Thank you, the DAD.